Yeah, so I'm bored, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ramble on about random things I think about when it comes to the Peculiar Children series. This is a problem with being a fan and being kind of a part of a small type fandom. Anyway, here we go. If you think about it, Millard Nollings would actually be the worst or best poker player around with his poker face. I was like, Millard, will you stop winning? I can't help it. I have the best poker face around. Yeah, because you're invisible. You can't see it, but I'm actually grinning from ear to ear. In the book Map of Days, they actually confirmed that, there is invisible vomit coming out when he throws up because he got car sick somewhere in the book twice. So, makes me wonder if an invisible person pukes invisible vomit, what else comes out of their body that is also invisible? Don't get too disgusting when you think about this. Now that I think about it, with Fiona and Hugh, having like a bee peculiarity and a plant peculiarity, Fiona and a handful of other plant growing peculiars would actually balance out climate change really well. I mean, balance out, the warming of the planet, by raising up and growing more and more, abundant plants. Well, Hugh over there could, solve the problem with, quote unquote, bee extinction in America. You know what I'm saying? I have to really think about this sometimes, and it kind of keeps me up at night. But what else does Enoch say when he brings the dead back to life, when he shoves a heart inside it? One time he said, "Rise, dead man, rise," which kind of sounds like, one of the chorus to a heavy metal song. It kind of, rise, dead man, rise! But no, seriously, what else does he say? It's alive! Yeah, no shit! And it's like, no, seriously, you were dead before. What? It's cool. I brought you back to life. By the way, how's your day? Jacob Portman and Abraham Portman and a few other hollow hunters have the most absurd ability around. Sure, they don't see dead people like, say, other peculiars that actually see ghosts, but they see quote unquote hollows like monsters. And no one else sees them. So, with that said, I see strange things. There's a little girl named Claire, and she kind of looks like a little doll. And it's kind of cute because you kind of want to take her home with you, because she's a cute little girl. Except for the fact that she actually has a mouth on the back of her head. In one of those creepy situations where there's an actual congenital condition where people actually do have faces or mouths on the back of their head. But it makes you wonder if that thing actually talks. Don't think too much on it. In Tales of the Peculiar, it actually states that the very first Imbrin, which is actually the proper pronunciation for Imbrin, not Imbrine. Screw you, Tim Burton. But anyway, in Tales of the Peculiar, it says the very first Imbrin was actually started off as a bird that shapeshifted into a human over and over and over again. So that makes me wonder, what the hell is Miss Peregrine doing with a human family and then shapeshifting into a bird? Are there also other Imbrin peculiars that actually happen to be, born with a human family and then shapeshifted into a bird? When Claire eats with her back mouth head, where does the food go? Also, in Tales of the Peculiar, you actually learn that there's a special peculiarity for some people where they turn into a giant island out of nowhere. Like, literally, they just started sprouting sand out of their bodies, grass out of their feet, and, seaweed out of their armpits. And it's like, you just wake up somewhere when you're a teenager and you see all this sand and grass and seaweed coming out of your body. And it's like, yeah, no, 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 no. But you know what is even the best part is you can't stop it, guys. It's like the thing where it's like puberty. You can't stop it. I do gotta say this about Tales of the Peculiar. The first story is about this group of peculiars that if they cut off a limb, they can grow it back. And then there's another group of peculiars that are cannibals by nature, not by choice. Funny enough. But the cannibal peculiars happen to be loaded, so every time the regrow limb peculiars, lose a body part and give it over to the cannibal peculiars. The cannibal peculiars, give them, a lot of money, and regrow limb peculiars use that money to go ahead and build extravagant houses, hotels, restaurants, and all that. And it actually, you know, makes emphasis to the phrase, I this cost me an arm and a leg to get this house. Yeah. Anyway, those are all the weird nuggets of jokes and questions I have for Ransom Riggs and his Peculiar Children series. Feel free to go ahead and send it to him if you have to. I'm done here, so if you have to, go ahead and like the video, watch it, share it, whatever. I'm done here, so keep reading, guys. Bye.